Live from Baker Street Pub and Grill. This is the Homeowner Show. I'm Kevin Hackett. Here with me is Chris.
Episode of the Homeowner Show, live from Baker Street Pub here in the Woodlands on the waterway. It's on the water, but I am scorching.
No, it's like there's water where? Like it's not blowing.
It's not doing its job.
No, it is not blowing cool air on me right now.
Yeah, so we brought the entire studio
Yes, we did.
to the waterway, including the beloved Bregman statue.
Nobody loves that thing,
Bregman, come on. Oh, he's wrapped up. There he is.
and nobody cares about that.
Well, I mean, people who are in first place.
Well,
because your team is in what place right now?
Not first place.
Not first place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really all the people here care about.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to tell people who pass us by on the street right now exactly what team you're rooting for.
Oh, yeah, the better team.
Because I am looking for an alley brawl.
Well, good luck with that.
I mean, I'll jump in if it gets ugly, but
If is that what you mean?
no. If you're winning, I'm going to let it go.
Let it
because
go.
It's a way better story. But if you're losing, I don't want to hear it from your wife.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That would happen. That would happen.
Anyway, we're gonna move through lots of guests tonight, but we
Yeah.
got one of our favorites right up front at the top, Miss Deborah from Paul the Plumber, Miss Paul the Plumber.
That's right.
Yeah, how you doing, Deborah?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Jonah, can you hear that? Okay, is that
You may have to bump her volume up a little.
give it all you got there, Scotty?
Yeah, that's right.
How you doing?
I'm melting.
You're
Oh,
melting?
I know.
I'm melting like
Well,
the ice in my glass.
So
We
you're
understand.
gonna appreciate that Sarah has agreed to keep these to 10 minutes then.
Right.
yes, yes.
Yes.
I love Sarah.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
so I mean, you guys actually did a big job for me not too long ago. I mean, you guys came in and changed my water heater out.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, and I actually tried to spend more money.
Well, we appreciate that.
Were you trying to do like a tankless?
I was
or
trying to do a
something?
tankless.
I
And-
bet I know what the reason was that you didn't.
Well,
I'm guessing.
you're guessing. What
Yeah.
do you think it was?
My guess is that the gas coming to your house was not 3/4 inch.
I don't know if it was the gas. I think it was the. I don't know. It could have been the gas. It could have been the water pipes. I don't know what the issue was.
You got to have. That's one of the big issues. You got to have a 3/4 inch pipe coming in for gas to do.
Is it the
tankless.
gas pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
So-
people have 1/2 inch coming in.
What I appreciated is like they could have just done the job, taken my extra $2 or $3 grand,
Yeah.
and called it a day, but they didn't. They're like, hey, you can't do that. It's not going to work in your house. And I was like, oh, you guys are so awesome.
Man, looking out for you.
Well, we want to make sure that you're taken care of. It's not. I don't know. I don't know my words today, but the thing is customer service, and I want to we treat our customers like we want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know, I want somebody to be honest with us and somebody to be fair. You know, if it's going to cost me 10 grand, I need to know that that's legit.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
Okay? But if you have a way of saying, no, we can fix this, or this is a better route to go, we want what's best for you.
Yeah.
It's not what's best for us. You know, don't get me wrong. Who won't take the bigger ticket job?
Sure.
But that's not the right way. That's
Well,
not.
and that, honestly,
what I wanna
that's
do.
one of the big reasons we started this podcast was to help homeowners understand like why things are the way they are, so they're not getting scammed by contractors. So whenever you hire a trustworthy contractor, then a couple of things. Number one, it's just better for you as a consumer, but honestly, it's better business because I mean, if Craig, if you got another issue, you're going to call them again.
Yeah,
Because they took
absolutely.
care of you the first time. They didn't screw you over the first time. And that's the way it should be.
Well, we laugh about it, but our tagline is, for jobs big or small, just call Paul.
Right.
Because
There you go.
the small jobs get us the big jobs.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
we'll take care of those small jobs because you get a lot of them. And I've had customers call and go, look, I've just got a leaky faucet. Is that too small of a job for you? No, we got you covered.
Yeah.
We get you taken care of.
Yeah.
And
Even though that's something probably pretty simple.
in some cases, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
change
what-
out a faucet or whatever it is. But for them, it's a big crisis. For them, it's whatever it is. If they don't know what it's like, you know, whoever. I don't know AC work. I I don't know electrical. We're going to call those people,
Right.
to come out and do what we need.
Right.
So we just want to be we want to be trustworthy. Now,
Sure.
I'm not going to lie to you. We're not the cheapest company around, but we're going to be honest with you, and we're going to make sure that you get what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll tell you, okay, if you want to go higher, if you want to upgrade, this is what you can do.
Right.
Sure.
But-
So whenever you say that, I'm curious to dig into what that actually means, because when you say something like that, I don't know how people hear that. If they hear, oh, well, you're not the cheapest, okay, I'll go with someone else. Or if they hear it in, okay, why? So I would ask the question, what is the difference between someone who's quote-unquote cheapest and you, who's not going to be the cheapest?
So you're getting a master license, you're
Okay.
getting insurance, you're getting excellent customer service. If something goes wrong, we're back. We'll come back. We're not going to ghost you. We're not going to ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take care of the problem. And you've got us at every turn. I've got a phone number that you can text, and multiple people get that number. Now, when you call and leave a voicemail, one or two people can get that voicemail after hours.
Mm-hmm.
But that text message goes to multiple people.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
and don't,
there's like
don't
if
ask
some-
me what the phone number is because I don't know
No,
what
no,
I'm
I'm just curious. There's so like if it's after hours, there's a voicemail, but it text messages you.
No, it's on the voicemail. It does tell you here's the text number to send
Okay,
to.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, on the voicemail. So whenever you call the voicemail, know that be prepared to have a pen and paper because there's going to be a number you can text us.
Okay.
And text is so much better.
Yeah.
After hours.
Sure.
Or weekends. That is
Right.
just the best way to get a hold of us.
Mm-hmm.
And but we can answer you. It may take time because
Well, it's after hours.
because sometimes we do the things on the weekends we can't do them in the week.
Oh,
because
you
of
mean
the
you like
weekend.
eat and play every once in a while? But look, you answered my question, and those first two things that I think is a difference maker. One is a master plumber. That in and of itself, it means something, right? And number two is insurance, and the bonded side of things as well, making sure that if something goes wrong, we're not going to be out. I think those two things are what a lot of people don't bring to the table, and what you need to know as a consumer, as a homeowner, is that if you're not finding someone that's insured, licensed, bonded, and actually has gone to the classes they need to get a master plumber or master electrician's license type of thing, then you're running yourself a big risk. You might pay less now, but if you have to pay more later, you're up a creek. So that's a huge benefit, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Well, we've written something before in saying, do you know who's coming into your home? Because here's the thing. You have to have a master's license to have your business, but you have to have a master's plumbing license to get insured to do plumbing work.
Right.
So if somebody else is coming in and say, I can do your plumbing work, but I am insured. But are you insured if they flood your home? Because they're doing plumbing work.
Yeah.
Is that insurance? What's your homeowner's insurance going to say? Are they going to cover? What you have to think about those things, and we want to make sure that our homeowners know that you're covered. When we walk in the door, you're covered. We're protecting you as well as ourselves.
Yeah.
To have insurance. So it's a big issue.
So I actually have a question about flooding because, and this may be more of a Paul question, I don't know, but you may know because I know you take a lot of the phone calls and handle stuff in the office. What is the deal with putting hot water heaters in the attic?
Oh, we
Like,
hate that.
Like I can't tell you. Like I can count on, and like this is a lot for me. I can count on one hand the number of clients I've had whose homes have flooded because the water heater is in the attic, and so it floods the second story, and then it floods the first, and it always happens when they're on vacation.
Oh yeah, never
So,
happens
what
at
like,
opportune moments.
Is there a benefit to doing that, like when you're building a home, or do you even know?
So they're saving space.
Yeah,
Is
they're
that-
not
is
building.
that the
They're
main
not
thrust?
building an extra closet, or
Yeah,
they're not
it's-
wanting to take up space in the garage.
It's
or
all
whatever.
about that prime
Extra-
real estate, so to
Oh,
speak.
okay.
So
But, I mean, we assumed that, but I didn't know if there was like another like actual like
benefit?
plumbing
Is
reason.
there a benefit
No.
because
I was
it
like-
keeps it hotter in
Is
the
that like a
attic?
Jack and
Like-
Jill thing where like the water runs downhill? Is that
Yeah, it's super hot up there all the time.
No.
Don't have to heat the water
yeah.
up there.
Okay.
And here in Texas, I think it's, especially this part of Texas, it's the worst place to put it.
That's what I would think.
Because
do
we're
too.
having the hardest time right now. We're getting calls for my pilot's out. What happened? It's working fine. It's only a 2-year-old heater.
Right.
Well, what's happening is it's suffocating. It's so hot, the
wow.
extreme heat in the attic, and there's not enough circulation. So the pilot's just going out. It's not getting
I
enough
hadn't even
oxygen.
thought
It's
of
not
that.
getting
I
enough
hadn't either.
air.
That's crazy.
So it's not moving. So you need circulation in your air. Now there's something that we can do it for, but it just depends on the brand of water heater. There's just other things.
Well, so
Only thing is that's what's happening. So when they put it in the attic, I'm like, why?
why are you doing
Yeah.
that? Well, not only that, you got to go up there to fix it. So I'm going to charge you more.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
It's so hot.
Yeah, it's so hot.
know.
Well, so here's a question. I kind of know the answer, so that's why I'm asking. When a hot
said
heater,
knowingly.
when a hot water heater goes bad,
Somewhere
and they-
there's a home
and
inspector
they
that's
do-
cringing at your question already.
and they
because you
do.
said hot water heater.
when a water heater goes bad, and they just go bad. Why do they go bad most of the time?
Age.
Age, and what happens when they go bad?
Everyone's different, but common. Pilot goes out and you can't start it again.
Okay.
And you could. I know people are out there going, well, you could do the thermocouple, or you could do the gas control valve. Hold up. It depends on the age.
Right.
We're not going to repair it.
Right.
Or we'll repair it for you. However, we'll let you know that due to the age, no guarantee this is going to work.
Right.
So you're still going to pay for this, but then you're going to end up paying for a whole new water heater.
And then
So it
if
just
it's
depends.
not the pilot, the other most common reason is that they just rust out, right?
They start leaking.
Yeah, they start leaking.
Yep.
And if it's in the Paul's over there saying, what'd you say? The condition of the water. Okay, yeah, because
Oh, it
the water
causes them to
the
rust
water
and-
causes corrosion and it starts rusting, sediments in there. Okay. No. Thank you for saying that, because here's the reason
See, this
I asked
happens
that,
every
Deborah.
time. He tells you to come on. Vio's
That's
over
right.
there answering
That's
the question.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
No.
But here's what happens.
That's what happens all the time. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one.
That's
So-
why I'm Mrs. Paul the plumber.
That's right.
That's right. But it rusts out and it starts leaking.
Yes.
And when it starts leaking, the water has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And theoretically you've got a pan that's drained out, but always that line gets clogged or something. And so what's going to happen? It's going to fall through your roof. And it's going to cause major problems.
Sometimes, yeah.
So I don't know. Here's my point with that. Check your water heater. Make sure that
will tell you this,
it's
and
not
I'm-
clogged up there.
Well,
all
I'm not
that
trying
stuff.
to cut you off, but
No,
real
please
quick,
do.
you mentioned vacation. There's vacation mode on your
There
water heater.
is vacation.
Oh, that's
mode.
right.
There's vacation mode on
Make
it.
sure you're setting it
Is,
right.
is that on electric and gas? I mean, like, is it
just
just
gas.
gas.
just gas?
Just gas.
Just gas.
Okay. Yeah. There are many questions I have to over here.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
all good.
I'm not a plumber. I need y'all to know this.
Well, no, because we have gas, and I've seen it on ours, and I was going, okay, I've never had an electric one, so I don't know if it's on there.
Craig
I,
has a lot of gas.
I have constantly. Give me a
Well,
subject.
Well, listen, we could talk to you for a really long time, and
Well, I have one question.
Okay, bring
I
it.
want to ask all our guests tonight, because we put up a post today about if you.
what would you do?
Yeah, what you would do, and I want to hear your answer, because I want to hear from all of our guests tonight. If you had $1,500 that you had to spend on your home right now, and you had to spend it, what would you spend it on?
Well, that doesn't give you much these days.
That's the part of the
Wait,
problem.
That's the
But-
challenge.
But
Irrigation system, he says.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's down payment.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
right.
Mike would give you a deal.
sure.
Is that what you would want?
honestly, you know what? I read that earlier, and somebody said an outdoor refrigerator, like one in the
Oh, yeah.
garage.
Yeah.
But I'd want a new one in my house, and I put my old one out
There
in the
you
garage.
go.
Okay.
That's smart.
So that would be
At $1,500
I-
bucks, you can get a decent.
Get you a new fridge.
Yeah.
probably a new fridge.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
when you go
it still
Christmas shopping,
works.
Paul,
You can keep the water.
You
you
know.
can keep the water cold. You can keep the water cold that you're going to go dump on your lawn. That's the way
That's
that's going to happen. Well, listen, thank you for coming on. I know we got some other people waiting in the wings,
Yes.
and you're ready to get some air conditioning. So,
I am.
yeah, I get
am.
it.
I love talking to you guys, though.
we
We'll
love
do it
talking
again.
to you. Thank
We'll
you
do
for
it
sitting
again.
down with us.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of the night. Have a good time.
right.
And, if you guys have not yet, follow the net so you can get in touch with businesses like Paul and Deborah's over at Paul the Plumber.
right.
Real quick, how do people get a hold of you if they want to contact you?
So they can call our office at 832-521-3252. They can go to our website at paultheplumberllc.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can email us at operations at paultheplumberllc.com. So
Great.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one
didn't
before.
either.
I like
That's a
that
good
one.
I do too.
Yeah.
Operations.
Cool. Thank you.
you're
All right.
very welcome.
Yeah, y'all. If you need some good plumbers and you're in the Montgomery County area,
Mm-hmm.
please reach out to them. They take care of me. They take care of my family. They do a great job. So,
right.
thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we should probably mention Lone Star Appliance.
We absolutely have to because
Yes.
they're sponsoring tonight.
That's exactly right.
yeah.
So if you are looking for appliance repair, man, I'll tell you right now, it is so easy to just go for a brand new appliance.
Yep.
Because people think, oh, this one's worn out, it's not good anymore, I need appliance repair. But the truth of the matter is, they need a new appliance. The truth of the matter is, most of the time, that thing can be repaired.
Yeah.
For a whole lot less money.
Way
you get a
less
lot
money.
more money out of your system stills, whatever it is, and just get the thing repaired. And honestly, for us, we had a situation where we needed a new, the washer went out. And so, we can't go without a washer.
Right.
Not in my house.
Sure.
I got a little boy. Right? So,
Things gonna get dirty.
things gonna get dirty. So we called the repair place first, and you're gonna pay a repair fee up front. But if you do the repair with them, that's gonna roll right into the cost of the repair. So you're not gonna be out, a diagnostic fee or anything at
Right.
that point. So just give them a call. It's worth it. I promise. They're gonna take care of you. They're great people. Lone Star Appliance Repair, and
Rizzler, do we have the
we have the
you got
number
it
up.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. So if you're watching, you got the number right there. I don't remember it off the top of my head because I'm not a great person. So,
No, they're a fantastic company. Sarah's
That's
the
right.
owner. We have a couple people here representing them tonight. And Kevin's absolutely right. It is way cheaper to repair an appliance than it is to replace it. And we'll go into more detail on that tonight.
That's right.
But right now, we have a guest from Goodwin Recruiting. And I got to tell you, I am terrified to say your first name. Is it Therese?
It's Teresa.
Teresa. Okay.
Yeah.
The spelling is just killing me.
So the story behind that, I was born in the days when they heavily sedated mom. And
What now?
they heavily sedated mom during childbirth. And then she was
heavily
high as a
sedated.
kite
Sorry,
when they
I was
asked
like-
her. She was high as a kite when they asked her how to spell my name, and she was just spacing. So
wow.
I was like, thanks,
It's
mom.
Teresa. T-H.
See, I thought it was.
something.
I thought
Something.
because I've met you before.
Yes.
And we've hung out several times. I was like, it's Teresa, but then you have your name tag on, and I'm like, nope, that's not it.
Somehow I've been screwing it up.
I've been calling her the wrong name, and she's been polite.
That's all, hey, you works.
That's right.
That's great.
That's right.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Kev.
So you work for a recruiting company.
Yes, so I have my own business, but I am under contract with Goodwin Recruiting.
Okay.
It is a recruiting company that is nationwide. We have about just under 340 recruiters nationwide, and we all work really well together. Some of us get contracts with businesses, some of us work to get those contracts filled. And so there's a lot of collaboration that happens. We've been around, 24 years now?
Okay.
So
Wow.
Yeah, and we're Forbes top 100 recruiting companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, answer me this, because I think recruiting company can mean a lot of different things. What? So, I maybe not. Maybe I'm just ignorant here, but we know that's true. But I'm going to ask the ignorant question anyway. What do you recruit for? And maybe the better question would be, how, if I need an employee, how does that work?
So, depends on what kind of employee you need. If you're talking administrative, clerical, things like that, that's not what we do.
Okay.
We would be too expensive for you for that. There are companies that do staffing,
Okay.
temp to hire, things like that. So if something like that comes up, I refer to those companies.
I'm really glad I asked that question, because that's the first thing that came to my mind was that
it's
kind of thing.
Well, and here's the thing that I see. A lot of the recruiters that are more individual will collaborate a lot. So, for
Okay.
instance, I am not as experienced in oil and gas, where I know a recruiter who is. And if somebody comes to me saying, hey, I need a job, I'm like, you know what, I probably can't help you, but this person can.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
their website, here's
Wow.
their phone number. And, my company doesn't do what's called fee splitting. So that would be two companies working together, et cetera, et cetera. So it's,
So you just refer out exclusively on that type of deal.
if there's something, I can put it out to other recruiters in our field, in our company, but honestly, if I don't have a position open right now, I can't help you.
Sure.
Right. So
Okay.
you can go on the website and you can sign up for notifications for this zip code and this industry, et cetera, and then you get email notifications
Is
as
that
soon as
free to do?
That's
Just
free.
have
yeah.
an account?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you get an email notification, you know what? Call me with the job number, and I will dig into the details, the internal details for
Okay.
you, and see if it truly is a good match.
Right.
I'm not gonna, I feel for people that are looking for work. Been there, done that.
Right.
But I want to make sure it's a good fit, because I don't want them job hopping in 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. So it needs to be a good fit for both sides.
Well, I mean, as a recruiting industry, you don't want that. You want
No.
your employers want to know that the people you're bringing to me are top notch. I'm not having
Absolutely.
to fire them in
Absolutely.
a few months.
And, sometimes things happen in life with people, and you have to do what you have to do, but that does show on your resume.
Sure.
So I do help people understand what to put on their resume that is appropriate for what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Right. Aside from good, when I will help somebody, I'll write a resume if I need to.
Okay.
Okay. But, if I need to submit somebody and their resume isn't 100%, if it's a quick fix, I can do it. If it's not, then either they can do it or I can refer them to somebody that professionally does it as well. I'm spending more time trying to get people hired. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And so from the employee side of things, what types of businesses do y'all typically work with?
The only ones we don't work with is like first responders.
Oh, okay.
Because of the certifications and
Sure.
the training required and all that police, fire,
Right.
military we can't. But we have government positions. We have everything from bookkeeping up through plastic surgeon.
Oh, wow.
HVAC, electricians.
Lots of contractors, I would assume.
But this isn't contract work. This is like with benefits,
Okay.
full-time.
Okay.
We don't do contract work. So
Okay.
full-time, example, one of my favorite stories, we were hiring for Caterpillar up in Illinois.
Okay.
And a 19-year-old applied for one of the welding positions. And he'd done all the training in school. He came out of school and he jumped around a little bit, but I was able to get the story out of him as to why things happened the way they did. We submitted him. I did the interview. We just submitted him. They rejected him. I pushed back and I said, no, you need to understand who this is. He may be 19 on the outside. This is a kid that worked for his parents' landscaping company through all of his teen years. He saved up every dime. When he turned 18, he bought himself a house.
Wow. Wow.
And at 19, he's putting a welding shop in his garage. I think you need to talk to him.
Right. This kid's a little driven, more so
little
than
bit,
you think.
A little bit. And
Yeah.
you know what? He's got a lifelong career now. He never
Wow.
has to look for another job.
Wow.
And that's what I'm trying to help people see is that there are opportunities out there, but you have to be willing to stick with something for a while.
I've actually talked to several guys that work for Caterpillar. Great company.
Oh,
to work
yeah.
Oh, the benefits are amazing.
It's an incredible company.
He's
to work
taken care of for life, and he's 19.
I don't think a lot of people realize like what a big company, what a good company Caterpillar, like an
Right.
American
Oh, yeah,
company
they are.
to
Huge.
work for here in the U.S. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the last great, like, I don't even want to call it like manufacturing, but they are a manufacturing company.
Yeah, like I'm hiring for machine repair mechanics right now, also in Illinois, and it's what, $36 to $45 an hour. Okay, came out. The 19-year-old, he's making about 31 an hour at 19.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, and their health insurance is amazing, and life insurance policy and disability, the whole 9 yards. It's an amazing company.
Oh yeah.
So-
I mean, I think when I was 19, I was like happy to make like 12. Like super, super happy.
So I'm a little bit older. I was happy with $8 an hour.
Sure, yeah. No, I can remember working for 5 with tips and just being like blown away when I made more than 5.
I know.
You know?
Oh my God.
So
Well, so if I'm looking for a job, I could call you. You would coach me through a little bit of, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you're looking for,
Well,
and determine
yeah.
whether or not y'all would be a good fit for me.
So if somebody calls and says, hey, I'm looking for work, it really depends what level they're at. Looking a lot for unicorns. So they're paying the big bucks, but like one position that's coming through tomorrow is a college instructor for medical diagnostic sonography. Okay, that's a unicorn. They have to
Yeah.
have 3 different licenses.
yeah.
So that's why, and they've been looking for half a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so they've exhausted whatever they know how to do, and so they're coming to us.
Okay.
And I've already done a search. I found 20 some odd people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your specialization in helping people find positions?
So my life has been very long and interesting, and I will say I've worked in sales and marketing and high tech.
Uh-huh.
I've worked in healthcare, more in the holistic side, and then I've worked in IT. So I had my own company. I did web hosting, marketing. I did websites. I did all the graphics. I ended up leading a team. Worked for NASA Ames for a bit, doing their web services, and so I speak those languages.
Right.
And that's where I specialize, but that's not necessarily what I'm hiring all the time. But that's the one where I'm like, oh yeah, HIPAA this and that. So I'm looking for, skilled nursing facilities, any urgent care clinics that are a little large, or any healthcare urgent care clinics. But also we're looking for attorneys. We're looking for commercial realtors. We're looking for, that level.
Yeah.
They just closed a job for executive director for senior living facilities, so assisted living, independent living. And so that's where we come in and we say, okay, I need to get to know you as a company, because you could be all, yay, loose, and here comes somebody that's all, white shirt and tie
Sure.
and doesn't really fit it. So we really try to make that a match as well.
So this is a full process. This is not just a.
Oh,
this
no.
is not just a. Oh, you have a job and you have a job need. We're going to put you together. No,
Nope,
you're
nope.
looking at the whole enchilada, so to speak, and making sure that we're putting the right people with the right thing. It can take
Exactly.
time. It's just a process.
Absolutely. So for me, the process is we get a position in. I talk to the account manager and say, okay, what are you really looking for? Like, you can put everything in the notes. What are the nuances that you can't put in there? Like the feel. Okay, I get that picture, and then I start going out and finding people, and we have all kinds of resources. Amazing. And I find somebody. I talk to them for 15 minutes. If it looks like it might be a good match, the next step is a 1-hour webcam interview, because I want to watch your body language and your eyes, because that tells me if you're lying or not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it also shows me if you know how to be professional.
Yeah.
Right. It
Right.
also shows me, do you know how to hold yourself in an interview? Do you know how to interview via webcam? So I do that. I do a whole write-up on them, and I submit that to the account manager, and I talk with the account manager to say, here's what I learned, here's what I've written, here's what here's stuff that's maybe not in the writing, and then we decide whether something needs to be added, taken away, or whether it really isn't a good fit.
Right.
And then I do what's called a strategic interview planning, which is we have a prep call the day before an interview with the company, and I go over, okay, if you're doing a webcam interview, I want you to look at the camera, not the screen.
Oh yeah, that's
I want
huge.
you to smile. I want
Yeah.
you to hold shoulders back. Make sure this back here is blank. Make sure there's no wild clothing, makeup, jewelry, especially for you, right? See? But, if you're doing in person, bring a folder with your resume, several copies of your resume. Don't give the limp fish handshake. That turns everybody off. So we teach you how to interview so it's not a waste of time for either party.
Right.
Because if you are great at what you do and you really are not good at interviewing, you're not going to get jobs.
Yeah.
And so let me show you how you need to do that and what's important. Let me, give you some ideas on questions to ask.
So coaching on top of
Absolutely.
like just finding. Yeah. So you mentioned some already. Are those the ones you mentioned are the ones in the most from what you're seeing? Are those the jobs that are in the highest demand right now?
So Goodwin started out in food and beverage, so
Okay.
restaurants, maybe hotels. And so they're a lot stronger there than they are with the other verticals. What I'm seeing a lot
Hospitality
of-
is what that's called.
Hospitality, yes, yes.
I know one or two things.
Mostly one.
One,
Well,
pretty
and
much one.
I just placed an executive chef for a catering company.
Okay.
Cool.
And it was a perfect match. It was so amazing. The owner hadn't had a day off in 5 months, I think.
Oh geez.
Yeah. And can you imagine, right? Like
can.
no days, no days off, none for 5 months. And I brought a candidate who I had applied to another position. It wasn't a great match. And 2 weeks later, this position came up. He had his own catering company for 20 years. Ended up going through a divorce, sold his company, and just drove through the United States to kind of figure out what he wants to do when he grows up, right? Wow. Landed in Palo Alto, California, and I called him on Monday morning first thing. Dude, you gotta look at this. I'm just emailing this to you right now. This is a perfect fit for you. Long story short, he interviewed that Friday. He was working the next Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I mean they
Wow.
did a taste test on Monday. And it was 4th
I
of
didn't
July.
take. That's the thing is like a taste test does it all.
That's right.
Oh,
Show
there
me
you
a
go.
taste
Oh,
test.
and he's-
I want more.
Oh yeah, and he's amazing.
I want that job.
And you know what?
Exactly.
And you know what? What's really nice about this is that the owner now gets time off.
Yeah.
He's a perfect fit. I mean, personality, everything, and he gets a do-over.
Nice.
Okay, so for both sides, and those are the things that make it really worthwhile.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like this all the time, and we work on commissions. So if you don't place somebody, you don't get paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too is I was in healthcare. We had ethics pounded into us.
Yeah.
I work ethically, so if it's not a good fit, I will tell you, and it's not a good fit.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to place somebody that really doesn't deserve to be there.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so
real quick, because we're getting the stink eye.
Yes.
How do people get a hold of you if they're looking for a job or if they're looking to hire somebody great?
So my digital business card is TeresaHolliday.com.
Uh-huh.
That's ThereseHolliday.com. And that'll give you my cell phone, my business phone, email. It's got my history on there. And if they can get a hold of me, phone number 936-260-4348.
Okay.
All right, and real quick, because we're asking everybody tonight, if you had $1,500 to spend on your home, how would you spend it?
Oh, it's already gone.
It's already gone. What'd you spend it on?
We just had to replace the HVAC.
Oh wow.
no.
That's it.
Well, that's way more than $1,500.
Way more.
Add a zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good grief. Well, at least you're
So
staying cool
send
now.
me people.
Yeah, please.
Right.
Good grief.
She needs help, y'all.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down.
Yes,
Thank you. Really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And enjoy the rest of your night and have a good time networking with everybody.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right. Absolutely.
Bye.
What do you think, bud?
Man, I love that because I think that finding people to pair up with other people is really challenging.
It's incredibly challenging.
I mean, you know it better than I do as a business owner that has more than one employee at it. It's hard
Yeah.
to find.
well, and even then, you're just gonna have there's personality issues that are gonna come up.
yeah.
There, and there's a lot of vetting that, especially if it's not if it's a stranger. Man, you just feel the need to just investigate
you want to know more.
You want to know as
And
much
so
as
having
possible.
a recruiting company that can tell you more,
Yeah.
that's invaluable.
Well, and to have a recruiting company that will actually give you accurate information, because I imagine there are recruiting companies that will just like shoot smoke up your rear end.
Oh,
you know,
to just-
in order to close the contract.
Money.
You know, and to know somebody that's just not going to do that. You know, that's especially if you're a company that's in the hiring phase of your company life. Like that's incredibly valuable.
Sure.
Is it just sinking? Is that the deal?
It is.
Yeah. There's
Well, I gotta fix. That'd be fine.
just scoot the chair up. That's really the best solution.
I fixed it.
It needs some Viagra.
There you go. That's right.
Can we say that on there?
Well,
We
you
just
can.
did.
So, there's no going back now. It's live.
Check your phone.
What's wrong with my phone?
I don't know. All right, cool. Well, I'll just go because I've not met you before.
No, you haven't.
My name's Kevin.
I'm Corey.
Corey, it's good to meet you. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Corey Reeves, the owner of Reeves Realty Group out of Montgomery.
Okay.
And since you haven't met me, this way I'll help
Perfect.
you a little bit.
Thank
There's
you,
one of my
thank
cards. And
I'm gonna go around and see if I can fix this. You keep talking.
No
we,
problem.
We specialize in Montgomery County.
All right.
Try to, but we'll cover all of Greater Houston.
All right.
Referrals. We handle commercial, residential, lease spaces, flex spaces,
Okay.
luxury, Lake
Multifamily.
Conroe, multifamily. We'll do usually 8 units. You know, we've got some people looking for those
Yeah.
smaller type
Yeah.
multifamily, multi-use kind of deals.
Right.
Duplexes, things of that nature.
Right.
We're not as big into the multi-million-dollar apartment complexes
Right,
and things
right,
of that
right.
nature. Our niche is more residential, flex space, commercial, and lots, leases, rentals, things of that nature. So,
And I'll tell you, for one reason or the other, Craig and I love talking to realtors. And realtors, mortgage brokers, all these people that are in the niche of helping homeowners find good real estate, because right now the market just seems to go up and down. It's changing constantly. And so finding people that actually know the market, study the market, are aware of trends, and trying to help homeowners figure out where do you buy, what's going to actually give you a return eventually. All those things, to me, make a difference. Where I know a lot of homeowners, they're like, can you find me a house under this much that is this large? That's really all that they care about,
Right.
in a lot of ways. But then on top of that, they're like, oh, but I want in this school district, and I want to be near this shopping center, and this restaurant, needs to be able to deliver to my house, all
Sure,
that kind of stuff.
sure.
So I'm curious, what are the things that you're seeing right now as far as the market is going?
it's a great question. All right, so answer number one, you asked about 5.
I know, I always do that.
Number one is yesterday was the best time to buy.
Always.
The second best time is right now.
Yes. Okay.
Because we can actually break down the numbers and show you where if you're not a homeowner, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. And
Yep.
you can make $30,000 next year yourself or make somebody else $30,000. It's your choice.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter what the interest rate is because you're going to be able to refinance it. Your house is never going to depreciate. Homes are not going to do anything but go up in value, and you're going to do nothing but cash in year after year of being a homeowner. Take that money, liquidate it, go buy you another place, and keep going.
Wow.
So that's
I love that short, concise answer. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing, because what you just said is an experience that I've had recently. I mean, I sold a house a little over a year and a half ago now and bought a new place. I was there for 5 years, and I made not quite $30,000 a year, but close to it.
Yep.
Yeah, and to see that kind of return. I mean, we paid for our new place, which is on acreage. We paid 10% over asking because we just had to, and really happy to get that. But a year and a half later, it's already worth more than the 10% I already put into it. So,
Sure it is.
I mean, it's just the way it goes. And so, I know that a lot of people are going, how can I afford that? And I think I look at it sometimes,
Well, when you're not taking advantage of your buying power, some people aren't in a position for their buying power.
Sure.
But we've also got programs that we work with various lenders that do offer assisted loans.
Oh, okay.
Where you might not have the $20,000 or $30,000 sitting in the bank account, but we've got loans through different lenders that we partner with that specialize in VA loans for veterans. We've got them that are, helping single moms out with children that don't have 40 grand in the bank, but all they'll need is like 1.5% down, and we can get them into a house instead of them having to lease or go rent.
Wow.
It's life-changing for people like that. Now, granted, there's, credit ceilings and, and bottoms and things of that nature,
Right.
but we've even got partners that work with people on credit and things of that nature to get them there. And sometimes it might be a year process or a 6 months process, but we keep the pipeline fed with properties out there. We set people up on portals. You were talking about, what they're looking for and things of that nature. We worked with a nice young couple with a family that just moved from Louisiana. They wanted a large home with a pool, at a certain price point, and it's kind of like we're looking for unicorns.
Right.
But amazingly enough, we were able to place them in exactly the right house. We closed them last week.
Wow.
Took us about 3 or 4 months to get it done. They were patient. We were due diligent, and we got them exactly what they wanted. There's a lot of realtors and people in the business that work and some really work. So there's a difference between what we offer and how we go to work as far as some of our competitors. And everybody's in this transitional market, but you got to put your bootstraps on and you got to go to work for your clients and you got to do your due diligence and really take care of people, and that it's a referral business, and people buy from people who they like, trust, and believe. So
That is so true. That is so true. Unlike a lot of businesses where you can find referrals in different ways, realty is very unique in that.
it's a niche. It's very nichey. Again, people buy from people who they like, trust, and know,
Yep.
and believe, and that's the whole name of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you have a background in HVAC, right?
I do. 35 years.
Yeah. So
Wow.
like you kind of have like a specialty in like spotting a serious problem in properties that you might be showing your clients.
Correct. One of the first things I look at is the HVAC, because that is next to the home your largest purchase that's going to be part of your home. That could be detrimental and non-repairable.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I take a look at that, and we've also got trusted HVAC guys that we can call. And if I see a problem, we will definitely get it checked out and deeper inspected than just by a regular inspector. We will actually have a certified technician, HVAC licensed guy go out and double check it and make sure that there aren't any issues. But that, you bringing that up, Craig, not only was I around HVAC, I was around plumbing, electricians, insulation, all of those guys, because I used to do new construction also.
Right.
So when you're doing new construction, you're around the trades all the time,
Right.
so you pick up things. You
Definitely.
you learn a little bit about a lot. So, and then you apply that when we're looking at houses, and I can spot foundation issues for the most part, and drywall problems and air conditioning problems, and see mold coming out, or one room's hot, one room's cold. Issues with that home that might need to be addressed a little farther and save our buyers a lot of money. Or if it's on the listing side, we can get those things addressed before it does get inspected.
Yeah. So you're going to know and
Right.
you'll be able to inform